gonna be on Nagrand Blade's Edge, rather, arena. And, well, finally,
arenas.
we can get these games underway without any interruptions.
It's another third map. And another said before, I mean, after Lawrence, he said Lawrence is actually a bad map for LOSing. And this might be a lot better for him.
We'll have to see how it plays out. And currently he's going to be under the bridge. You could imagine that he's maybe just going to pull down Flyn with Death Grip. Ice Barrier goes up. Flyn going to make sure he's playing very, very serious. You can imagine that, you know, going 1-1 and playing for that 10k, and there's a lot of stake here. You can imagine how many internet gangsters are going to flame Flyn if he ends up losing this. So not something that he'd want to do, but certainly he said, you know, I'll play anybody and I'll win, and if you beat me you get 10k. And so he is going to do this, and in comes a Chains of Ice nice and early. There comes a Frostbolt into a Deep Freeze, and in comes a Trinket, anti-magic shell already used, and he's decided to go defensive now. Another just going to be backing away. Gargoyle is going to be used, and the pets are going to try and do some damage to Flyn, but at the moment they I mean, invisibility has been used at the top. Gargoyle won't be able to. He's going to be able to go on him. Okay.
Yeah. As you said, I think this map's going to give a definite advantage for another. I mean, Ruins of Loradon, he doesn't have that much opportunities to exploit line of sight. You can see that another has blown his PvP trinket. And,
he's actually down to half HP as the UI. There we go. He's actually updated now. So 14k already, and in comes a Deep Freeze as well. AMZ though, he's having to nuke through at the moment. Deathcore used, Ice Lance over for Flyn. You can see all the cooldowns. Not sure if he's even used Cold Snap yet. I don't think he actually has. I don't think we've seen a second pet in action. And there comes the Cold Snap, finally used. So this is going to be where it's going to be really dangerous for another. He's got 12k to handle. He's going to be put into a Nova, a Deep Freeze. There comes a Cone of Cold, and this is going to hurt. That was a 5k crit, and already losing a lot of health. And he's trying to get away. Anti-Magic Shell. There comes a Strangulate as well, which will help him. There comes the Rune Tap ×2, and Pet still is alive. So he's gone up to a substantial amount of health here, playing really nicely as another. And Flyn now find himself out of cooldown, so we'll have to see if another now can stack on the pressure, and arcane missiles will be channeled through the pillar. Pet will stick to Flyn, and on the other side we have a pet there as well. Death Strike used to get some health back. Nice move bomb another. He's going to channel bandage on himself, and he's going to be though caught into a Deep Freeze. In comes a Pyro Rocket after that as well, so that's going to be a lot of damage, and another will bring him in with Death Grip and Chains of Ice, and this could go really bad for Flyn. He's having to channel that Frostbolt really close range, and he actually does do so. Anti-Magic Shell and Bone Shield used to get out of that situation.
Yep, another's PvP trinket is now available, but look at this.
And it is going to be a huge amount of damage at the end there. That was absolutely sick.
I didn't see them crit how much, but they crit for like a lot. I think
that coffin in the middle to line of sight around, and as the game kicks off, we can see definitely decay.
And we have to say thank you to the specs as well. We've even got Hydra in the gates here helping this happen, so thank you to them. And
thanks,
already
guys.
We do have Icy Touch spammed onto Flyn. Not going to be doing much. And actually we do have the pet targeted there for the initial damage. That's going to be leaped back to another, and obviously he's his spec at the moment will allow him to Bone Shield up, which will mitigate damage. I think it's 4 attacks. I'm not sure if it's like minus 20% on those. I like to think I'm an encyclopedia for all things WoW, but I think I'm an encyclopedia for all things wrong in WoW. I got my own Jayapedia. Alright then, so Flyn mounted up, Bone Shield recasted, and he is going to be pulled in and instantly going to be blinking away from that situation. Let's see how he handles this, and Anti-Magic Shell once again, and another is just going to kite this out, and this is something that another's, you know, really is doing, is just kind of being able to, you know, anticipate when the nukes are coming in, get behind a pillar, and be able to stop that damage. And we actually have a blink forward here, and this could be dangerous. There has been a poly on, whether or not he's going to change the pet. He's actually going to have MIs up. PvP trinket used by another. There comes a Strangulate as well. And then the ice block used. Yeah, he didn't have blink up there. He used it offensively, so that ice block was a really good decision by him. And in come the nukes finally. We'll see how much damage that he's able to do. AMZ is up, just checking if it is correct, and it isn't. It's actually down to 17k, and Flyn currently sitting quite nicely. Cold Snap, though, hasn't been used yet. There comes the Lichborn and Death Coils on himself that was mentioned before. 3 Death Coils on himself, 4 Death Coils, up to, there's a 5th Death Coil, and he's done quite nicely to get all his health pretty much back. So Flyn has burned through the first kind of amount of cooldowns that he's had. He's not used Cold Snap, and he's not gone defensively. There comes a Blood Tap as well, and now the Death Coils go offensive onto Flyn, down to 12k. In comes a Channel Frostbolt. That's going to be cancelled by a Death Grip, and now Flyn could find himself in a dangerous situation. Another, though, is low, and there comes that's a really dangerous Frost Nova, and that actually did break. And once again, the Death Coils are going to be channeled on him. Improved counter spell, and in comes some damage, and that's going to be substantial. Anti-magic shell. Flyn just has to kite this off. Here comes the second ice block, and now he's going to surely be able to capitalize. Arcane missiles will be channeled, 912 HP, and down another goes, and that was very, very close, and he only had at the end 2,600 HP. He had to use Mana Shield, and there was nothing in the end that had he not been able to score the kill there, and if another got to him, okay, one blink away, probably could have